All right, welcome back. So this would be Dan Garza. This is me returning back to the roots of the 3D format, like a real true 3D format, as opposed to the AI content. I gotta admit, I did go overboard with the AI services and subscriptions, and the reason that I'm kind of turning stuff back around or returning to my roots or origin is the algorithm really does not like any type of artificial intelligence content, specifically with humanoid, where it's hard to distinguish that whole uncanny valley stuff, because there are some services out there that are extremely detailed, like for example, what is it, Design. It creates some really stunning stuff, and then CArt as well. And then CArt, what is a word? It is totally uncensored in both, as uncensored as uncensored gets. Same thing too with Venice. Venice it's good for starting as a source image and then pulling it over. So yeah, I mean, you recognize Sasquatch. You just kind of pulled him in from the smart content tab, and I'm just gonna do like minimal effort as to prove a point. So I'm just gonna import him rough, rugged, and raw, and I'm not gonna do anything to him. And anything means that there's a template you're supposed to apply, but I just want to see what happens. So I'm gonna just save this real quick. So I'll call it Sasquatch. Today's 5/12/2026. Done this a few times today in testing, so called 005. This is the default settings that I prefer to use. Accept. And then while it's doing that, let's launch the character creator. I think it used to show your serial number back in the day, and I'm really glad that it doesn't, but I might be getting confused with a different software. Alright, so it's loaded up. Transformer, character creator 3, choose this one, 005, open. Give it a moment to think. I'm going to choose basic because that meets my needs. I have yet to run across a scenario where I specifically need to use advanced. So let's give it a moment to just process and bake the body textures. I like doing as low res as possible. And then if you have clothes, you would see it here, but there's no clothes. Okay. And I should be able to demo. There's like two things that really stick out where you're going to need to go through and kind of double check your work. The first one is if you don't use the template that Real Illusion provides to you, the hands on the DAS model, they kind of get messed up. And for the sake of just like demonstrative purposes, I wanted to capture some footage of that, just showing what I speak of, because the first time I did it, I was like, what is, everything looked cool. It was just, you know, what is up with this dude's hands? They were just all pinched and crimpy. And then I had asked Gemini about it, and she was like, oh, da, 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 da. And it conveyed to me that I had skipped a step. Yeah, so this looks good. Content, pose. Could I do motion? Oh yeah, motion. Male pose. I I think there's an idle one. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, thumbs don't look totally wonky. Alright, well, let's just send it over to iClone, because I think this is really where you're going to notice it. Alright, so here's iClone. He should be coming this way. Alright, so we have Sasquatch. And then, yeah, here's like the first test. So go here, modify animation, motion puppet, and let's try talk, because talk is usually going to bring attention to the hand. So I'm going to do this one, ignore, preview, spacebar. Look at this. You see that? Oh, I can't pause it because it's previewing. Hello. But yeah, you. One more time. Yeah. So let me close some stuff up here. File. No. So I'm gonna go back here to DAS, and then look at the hands. They're not straightforward. So this is one of the template files that Real Illusion provides to you. It's this Genesis DUF file, DSON, DSON. Just grab it, put it on Sasquatch, and look at the hands. They just changed. And then it's the same drill after this. So file, export. I'm going to call this one 006. Save, accept. Go to character creator. Okay, and then we're going to use the transformer, CC3, choose 6, basic, make body texture, leave it 1024, hit OK. Yeah, just give it a second. So hands are one thing, eyes are another thing. There's really no eye problems with this particular model. I'll bring it up as it appears on future ones. And then sometimes you're going to get issues with the legs, but I've pre-tested this model where the thighs just kind of stick together if they're too close. But I think there's a little bit of leniency, or it might have more to do with the character if they have clothing on. So same thing. If it comes up in future ones, I will point it out at that point in time during the testing process. So yeah, let's just let it think. All right, so yeah, it finished it. And yeah, let's look at the front view. That's not it, it's this right here. Okay. So I just want to draw your attention to one thing, just kind of zooming in. Do you see what I see? Yeah, so the lashes, they're not going to work a 1,000,000% of the time on this particular model, because it does change occasionally, and there's different workarounds that can be implemented. So what you do is you go to the modify section and then choose textures, and then it's going to be right here. STD eyelash, standard eyelash. if you scroll down, this is what we're looking at. Base color, you just right click, adjust color. I'm going to scooch this over so you can see. And brightness, you can go this way to the right and it's totally white, or this way and it's black. So that's good enough for me. Alright, so now I'm pretty confident he could be sent over to iClone because we fixed the hands and then now we fixed the eyelashes rather. So same flow, click here, send character to iClone. It's going to send to iClone 7. So let's test the hands real quick. Preview spacebar. Looks a lot better. So that takes care of that, and then the other thing I like to do is test the creative script, the what is that called? The sound to moving yips. Yes, I see Aculips here, but I'm gonna go to audio file because it's a tiny bit faster. And these are from Suno AI. It uses stems. Stems just means it takes the song that it generates for you and it creates stems. Stems mean separate elements, meaning voice, drums, guitar, etc. So this one is the stripped one or stemmed version, which is just the voice. So I'm going to open that. And yeah, iClone moves pretty quickly. So you could already see his yips. And then you want to make sure you go to the first frame. And let's I just like this particular feature, the look at and then look at camera, and then let's roll it. Yeah, and then look at camera, break your neck by Busta Rhymes. Yeah, so not hard, not easy. Trial by fire. Pretty good test of the software. You know, obviously this is very antiquated, meaning DAZ, Genesis 1, and then iClone 3. I'm sorry, iClone 7, Character Creator 3. But it's been a test of all those things. It still works in 2026, and it, in my opinion, compared to just trying to do everything in DAZ directly, I cannot render in DAZ anymore. So this is me moving on or back to iClone 7 in combination with the DAZ software because it's just more faster. So yeah, that would be that. And yeah, dedicate this to Geminita. She's really helped me out in recent weeks. And at $3 a month, that's my kind of good time gal. And then mad props to Noah, wherever you are. You know, we talked briefly, but Miss You Much by Janet Jackson. And then mad props to Fun. Thanks for sticking around and just putting it up with all this nonsensical rambling and talking. So lastly, this would be a test of the human in the loop format that me and Geminita have talked about as of recent in great detail. I feel as though I sort of accomplished this. You know, one of the things that Geminita had messaged to me is people love that wireframe, so I'm gonna do that wireframe for you as we do the outro here. So yeah, it's been fun, and then I gotta move on because this is like the 5th take, and I gotta put a pin in it. Pass or fail, rain or sunshine. The rock says it does not matter. So this would be the definitive one, and no editing whatsoever, hopefully, because just trying to do the one and done. With that being said, have a great day.